All right, we're at the 3 o'clock mark, so let's begin. My name is Allison Sheets. I'm the Senior Communications Manager with the AAEA Business Office downtown Milwaukee. I would like to be mindful of everyone's time, so if any questions are to come up, please click on the bottom of your Zoom screen and click on the Q&A portion. If we have any time after our speaker is done speaking, I will go ahead and ask those questions to them. If any questions don't get answered in our hour time slot here, we could follow up tomorrow with an email, so that way your questions do get answered. So now I'm going to toss it over to Sureshwaran. I probably butchered your name and I'm very sorry, with NIFA on more opportunities for agricultural economists. Suresh?
Thanks, Alison, and thanks everyone for joining us today. I hope we were going to have a discussion, but I wanted the slides so that it can be recorded and posted and get more ag economists to see. The National Institute of Food and Agriculture has many opportunities for agricultural economists. And for those of you who don't know much about the agency, NIFA is one of 17 agencies in USDA and is one of 4 agencies in REE mission area. Our primary function is extramural scientific research, education, and extension. Many of you might be more familiar with Economic Research Service. We are now co-located with ERS in Kansas City. Our mission is to invest in and advance agricultural research, education, and extension. I really don't want to go through all this, but very often, even from land grants, quite a lot of applicants for grants get confused between education and extension and what we mean by education and extension. Education for us is formal classroom training, while extension is outreach to farmers and community members. Our programs are legislatively mandated. We have approximately $1.8 billion in appropriations. We manage capacity or the formula programs. Some of the examples are Smith-Lever, McIntyre, Stennis, Evans-Allen program. We also manage quite a few competitive grant programs. About 50% of our appropriation, about $900 million, is allocated to competitive grant programs, and we have competitive grant programs in various topics: agricultural economics, rural development, small business innovation. These are some of the topics of interest to ag economists. As many of you know, NIFA relocated from Washington, D.C. to Kansas City. We are have gone through quite a lot of difficulties, and we think, like what Albert Einstein said, in the middle of every difficulty, there lies opportunities for the agency and for our partners, including agricultural economists. One of those opportunities which we would like to talk with you today about is employment opportunities. Then we have grant funding, and we also need help or partnership with panel reviewers. If you can think of any other things that you want me to talk about or answer, please ask, and we can spend some time at the end talking about other opportunities. Let's start with employment opportunities, which is the biggest challenge for us. When NIFA relocated, less than 25% of our staff relocated to Kansas City. There was no ag economist in the group. I'm the only one who is left. I did not relocate to Kansas City. Hence, they agreed to extend my contract at Washington, D.C. I'm in Washington, D.C. currently, but I'm on a 1-year contract, and my contract will expire next time soon in March of 2021. It's very important for us, for many of our programs, that we bring in ag economists as soon as possible into our staff. We have many opportunities for ag economists to apply and join. One of those is the deputy director's position. This position closes tomorrow. It's a bit too late, but it might be re-advertised very soon. This is a senior career position. This is the most senior career position at NIFA. We need someone who can provide not only scientific and administrative leadership programmatically, but also work in the NIFA Executive Council and participate in developing policies and guidance for the new NIFA. We are looking for someone who is likely to be a full professor, department head, assistant dean, kind of person with experience, significant experience in administration for these kinds of jobs. National program leaders, these positions are open. This is key. These are the people who really manage grant programs. We don't have an ag economist. Again, I'm repeating it because it's important. We have so many ag econ programs now that are being managed by people who are not ag economists. We are thinking of two types of positions: permanent positions or sabbatical and short-term assignments. For permanent positions, it can be at GS 13, 14, or 15. GS 13 is a new assistant professor, perhaps with a couple of years of experience. The salary range is $92,000 to $120,000. For GS 15, I would expect a full professor salary range of $128,000 to $166,000 at Kansas City. If you are thinking of a sabbatical, that's NIFA provides good opportunities for you to come there and work with us for 6 months. And under the circumstances, you may be able to continue to work from your university most of the time and help us manage and lead programs. This is something that can be discussed. If you are interested in this position, it's open till 30th September 2020. And it's a rolling, it doesn't have a deadline. Like every month, at the end of the month, we will go in, look at the number of applications. If there is anyone suitable, we will bring them in for an interview, hire, and fill the position. And there are multiple opportunities for ag economists. And I have given the website where this position is posted. Program specialists are staff who work with national program leaders in administering programs. These can be new PhDs or master's students. New PhDs are normally hired at GS 11. Master's degree candidates are hired primarily at GS 9, but it depends on whether they have experience. Career opportunities for program specialists may be limited. It's not automatic, but there are some program specialists who have applied and become NPLs and even directors of the agency. Program specialists can also transition into administrative jobs in other units. Why apply to NIFA? What are the other benefits? There's good retirement, health, and other benefits. It's worth about 30 to 35% of your salary. If you're already retirement eligible at your university, this might be a good second career. For example, what is required for a federal retirement is age 62 and 5 years of service. Many of us really don't. That was my biggest adjustment when I moved from academia to feral carrier is to having to stop research. But since we are now co-located with ERS, there may be opportunities to do research and publish. Even if you come on a sabbatical, there may be opportunities for you to work with ERS. What I really enjoy is opportunities to influence national priorities and investment in teaching, research, and extension. I think it's worth a lot. In part-time positions, if you come there on a temporary assignment, an assignment at NIFA helps to develop valuable experience and networks. I saw this cartoon and I thought it was interesting. It's a panel and it says, agreed, we fund only those proposals we can understand. I hope that's not the case at NIFA. But when you don't have an ag economist at the table, other ag economists around the country are going to find it difficult to really advance ag econ research in the nation. I think it's extremely important that NIFA hires more ag economists as soon as possible. What I have listed here is some of the names of programs that we have. And I will talk about these programs and opportunities. These are the programs that are relevant for ag economists. This is the program most of us know about. This is the Agricultural Economics and Rural Communities Cluster. This is the AFRI program. There's about $23 million in funding for agricultural economists. In 2019, we had 5 priority areas. We may not have all these priority areas in the future. We might condense them to make it more effective in implementing the program. But the priorities in these programs are going to be there. We will continue to accept small and medium-sized farm topics, economics, markets and trade, technology, natural resources, rural economic development. Last year, there was substantial decrease in the number of applications. The deadlines for fiscal year 2021 have passed. Sorry, fiscal year 2020, that's a typo. The deadlines for fiscal year 2020 have passed. But this is something that you can sign up for notifications on our website. And when the RFA is published, the 2021 RFA should get published very soon, and you should be eligible to apply. This is something new, and I wanted to spend some time given the importance of the topic. This is a new program, $9 million. It's rapid response to COVID-19. There are 4 topics. The last 2 are relevant, highly relevant for ag economists. Well-being of farm workforce, food service providers, and rural Americans. And the last one is economic security. And that's where you can really focus on supply chain issues and other relevant topics. The deadline is 4th June 2020. What we are looking at under this topic is critical and urgent research, extension, or integrated projects that has to be funded, that has to be done now. And we don't want other topics creeping in because we are going to put in a lot of effort and we want to really focus on these topics. That's why we are asking those who are interested in submitting an application to contact the program area staff, talk to them, and find out whether this topic is suitable. It also helps us to identify panelists for these proposals ahead of time before you submit, so that when your application, as soon as it comes in, we can send it off without waiting for a deadline, get it reviewed in an ad hoc basis without a panel, and decide whether to fund the proposal or not. And we will expedite review and funding. The contact person for this program right now is Dr. Emma Moran, and I have given her name and email address. It's on our website also. I will also need your help in identifying potential reviewers. Like we have already had 1 or 2 applications from Economists, and Emma Moran had come to me asking for my help in identifying potential panelists, and I might have to depend on the department heads to identify suitable panelists for each proposal. Moving on, AFRI also has about $50 million for education and workforce development program. And some of the deadlines are in July and September. What's so surprising about this program is funding rate is around, for most of these programs, 40 to 50%. 1 in 2 applications get funded. We don't get sufficient number of applications. Even for the pre-doctoral and postdoctoral programs, we don't get sufficient number of applications. We at NIFA keep hearing that our students are going to find it extremely difficult to get jobs next year under the given situation. And we are hoping that you will encourage your students to think about, when they graduate, to apply for postdoctoral scholars and to work with you or to go elsewhere. AFRI Sustainable Agricultural Systems, RFA, is something new. These are the large grants, approximately $10 million, multi-institutional, transdisciplinary approaches for addressing challenges in agriculture. In 2019, we had $90 million. It's expected to be much more in 2020. The priorities change. Agricultural economics has plenty of opportunities, and there are plenty of opportunities for ag economists to join NIFA as staff to help administer and develop priorities for these programs, all these programs. The panel managers, the people who select panelists and conduct reviews, have often included ag economists as leads. Outside of AFRI, we have many education programs. For example, the Higher Education Challenge Grants, the Non-Land Grant Agriculture Program, National Needs Graduate Fellows. I was looking at some of the attendee list, and many of you are former National Needs Graduate Fellows, and the Multicultural Scholars programs. Again, many of these programs have 50% funding rates. And we would like to see more applications from ag econ departments. Small business innovation research grants are normally provided to small businesses, but partnerships, collaboration with universities are encouraged. One of the topic areas is marketing and trade. Another area is small farms, and then there is another area for rural development. More importantly, we are looking for a national program leader with training perhaps in agricultural economics or agribusiness to lead this program. We also had another vacancy for this program as a program coordinator. We were again looking for someone with master's degrees and MBA or something like that, with experience in industry to come and serve as a program coordinator at GS 13 levels. I have finished now both employment opportunities and grant opportunities. Next, I want to generally talk about other opportunities, for example, peer review opportunities at NIFA. Peer review opportunities provide useful experience for people who are interested in writing applications. Peer reviews are conducted by subject matter experts to evaluate projects. Most panels are conducted virtually, but some may be at off-site hotels or on-site. After we moved to Kansas City, we haven't had any on-site panel as yet, and it might take us some more time before we start having panels. All expenses and per diem for number of panel days are paid. Every proposals need at least 3 written reviews. I was just calculating this afternoon based on the number of applications we received. We need about 24,000 written reviews each year. And if a panelist writes 12 reviews per person, it, I think, works out to 2,000 panelists each year. It's very, very difficult for us to find 2,000 people without help and assistance from all of you. We are very often short of having ag economists in panels or get needed ag econ reviews for proposals. We also need experienced panel managers for the next couple of years. This is because most of our staff are new. They might not know, and they might not be fully trained to conduct a panel properly. Having an experienced panel manager with a new national program leader is essential for the integrity of the programs. So if you are an experienced panel manager, if you can spare some time, we need your assistance. Some of the benefits of being a panelist, it's the same process that not only us, but all other funding agencies use. It will help you with future writing applications. I really like on-site panels because people get an opportunity to meet and interact with multidisciplinary, multi-institutional staff. It's an opportunity for you to collaborate and learn about research being conducted elsewhere. And it can also be recognized as service for tenure promotion considerations. If you are interested in serving as a panelist or as a panel manager, send a resume and expertise with keywords to the NPL listed in the RFA. If you want to, you can also send it to me during the next 1 year. Looking back, NIFA 1.0, we were established by the 2008 Farm Bill. We were formed in 2010 by restructuring the Cooperative State Research, Education and Extension Service. After about 10 years, we relocated to Kansas City, Missouri in October 2019. We lost most of our staff. Challenges for NIFA 2.0 are being overcome. That's, I think, an honest assessment. We have lost experienced staff, but they have retained a few of us for a short time to help recruit and train new people. There are opportunities for us to recruit experienced panelists and panel managers to help with program administration. We are also using more and more contractors. NIFA rarely ever used contractors in grants management, but now we are forced to consider using contractors, and this gives us different ways to think, to fill gaps. What I can say happily is in 2019, we got all the money out on time. We passed. In the middle of every opportunity, in the middle of every difficulty lies an opportunity. And NIFA 2.0 provides many opportunities to reimagine and rebuild NIFA, recruit new talent with new ideas, new programs and processes. This is something, again, an opportunity for ag economists to collaborate. I have been asked to ask you for ideas about future RFAs and priorities, especially what research is needed related to COVID-19. For example, food supply chains, markets. If you have any ideas that we can fund either through special opportunities or in the next RFA that will come out soon, please send an email to me as soon as possible. Our appropriations have increased, have continued to increase. So that it looks as if we have quite a lot of interest and support in USDA administration and in Congress. I have also experienced and seen quite a lot of support from stakeholders, especially after relocation and understanding of the situation. I would like to say thank you and look forward to your continued support. We have also started something called Project Cafe, which is designed to improve the effectiveness and efficiency with which NIFA delivers its services. We asked stakeholders to provide feedback. We got written feedback from 39 sources, 900 comments. The staff who join have opportunities to help analyze, implement, and have a national impact. They have an opportunity to start a new agency from scratch and to make an impact at a national level. These are some resources. The first one is NIFA webpage, and the second one is our careers page. This is something that we have started recently. Even if you don't have it, if you go Google NIFA USDA careers, you should be able to get to that page. And that has links to all our current vacancies and all our planned future vacancies. Please use it not only for yourself, but share it with your colleagues, share it with your students, and let us know how we can recruit more ag economists. I have also given you the link to the NPL vacancy that is currently open. We need applications. We need a permanent ag economist in our staff. If you cannot come and join us, or if you don't know of anyone, if you know of someone else interested in a sabbatical, again, ask them to send me a letter with a resume, and I will try to get it processed as soon as possible. I have also provided below that under funding the link to the COVID program, the special program that we have started with $9 million. It has a closing date in June. Think of any interesting, useful, relevant topics. Get in touch with the program contact and submit an application. If you're interested in helping us by serving on a peer panel, and that is the link for the peer panel, that's also important. We will compensate you for some of the, most all the expenses. It might not sufficiently compensate you for your time, but we appreciate whatever form of help that you can provide. That's my name and contact information. My telephone number is there and my email is there. We can leave it on the screen if you have, or you can search for my name and email me. We have rest of the time for questions and answers. We have about half an hour or more, whatever. So let me know. Alison, do we have questions?
Yes. Well, go ahead and submit your questions in the chat if you have any. We do have one question, and that was someone was hoping that you might be willing to share your slides today, as they would like to share them with their faculty.
Yeah, I can do it. How do you propose to handle that, Alison? I don't have the email.
Yeah, when we're all done here, I will go ahead and send the PowerPoint slides out to each of the attendees. Do we have any other questions?
I have a question. Are there any suggestions, any ways that we can make NIFA more attractive for people to apply or even to come there on a sabbatical soon?
We'll see if anybody has any feedback on that in the chat. If there aren't any further questions, we have a question here. I'm assuming that even in the short-term positions require U.S. citizenship or residency.
Yes.
Are there any other questions?
All federal appointments require U.S. citizenship, and that might be, yeah, it's a challenge.
We have another question. Some of my faculty teach during one semester and not in the other. I am wondering whether in combination with the summer and a semester off, could there be a way to make that work?
Yeah, that can work. That can work. If they are interested, please ask them to send me a letter with the resume. And they might be able to do it from home with a few trips, if you are allowed to travel with a few trips to Kansas City.
And what are the expectations for the first month?
It depends on the time of the year. If you join at the beginning, it will be to help. At the moment, we are really focusing on the AFRE, Agricultural Economics and Rural Communities, RFA. And since I'm the only ag economist there, we are really working with Economic Research Service to help write the RFA. If we have ag economists, they would have started drafting, looking at the old one and revising it and determining new priorities. If you come, say, 1 or 2 months later after the RFA is published, it will be to respond to questions. Perhaps 3 to 4 months later to select a panel and administer the panel. Perhaps to conduct more outreach to ag economists. I think if at the moment, like if I don't go, we really don't have anyone to attend the American Ag Econ meetings if the meetings are held. We would like someone to attend the meetings and be there. So if we have professional meetings that we need to attend and be present, we would encourage even on a sabbatical to go attend and pay for the expenses. It depends on what time you join in the grant cycle. One part of your job is grants management. The other part is programmatic leadership in the sense of networking with Ag Econ, trying to identify priorities for RFAs, trying to identify topics that need national attention, and then working across federal agencies, including ERS, NSF, and other agencies, trying to find resources to address these topics.
Do we have any other questions?
If you do have ideas, again, if you do have ideas about how we can make it more appealing to get, we had an open position for national program leaders advertised, say about 6 months ago, and we did not get any qualified applications from an economist. Even from social scientists, we did not see many useful applications from social scientists.
After we conclude this webinar this afternoon, I will go ahead and send out a PDF of the PowerPoint slides today. If we have any other questions, go ahead and add those to the chat so Suresh can answer them live for you right now. Otherwise, if you do come up with any questions after this webinar, please feel free to send those to either Suresh directly, or you could send those to info@aaea.org.
And if you want to nominate, even if you're not interested, if you really want to nominate someone else that we need to contact and encourage that person to apply to NIFA, we can do that too. I cannot solicit grant applications, but I can solicit job applications.
All right, so if there's no further questions, we could go ahead and end this webinar this afternoon. Again, I will be sending out the PowerPoint presentation slides. If any questions come up, please feel free to email Suresh or send your emails to info@aaea.org.
And thanks, Alison, and thanks everyone for joining today. And let me know how I can be of help.
All right, thank you, everyone.